Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Vermont has hundreds of women and men who serve in the armed forces, but we are one of a few states without a formal military base. It's often said that when a parent serves in the military, so too do their children. That's especially true during deployments that can last as long as a year. Keith Silva has our story of a young Vermonter who's growing up while her father is serving our country.
Ginny Moultrup is a dancer.
I do ballet, contemporary hip hop, and then jazz dances for recitals.
Of all her performances, there's one she can't forget. Jenny remembers she was in the 4th grade and her dad was there. Vermont National Guard Chief Warrant Officer 2, Matthew Moultrup.
My dad was away. He was missing my dance recital, and then he came and he surprised me, and he came and watched. I was really upset that he couldn't be there, and then he showed up, and it made me so happy. But I'm just lucky that I got that experience, because most military kids, they don't get that, and that's really hard, because parents in the military can miss birthdays or dance recitals or big events in their kids' life.
Missing events in their children's lives is often the norm for service members. It's a complicated set of circumstances, and so too are the emotions military kids feel when mom or dad is away.
I don't know how to describe it, but there's a lot of feelings all mixed in together, because when they're gone for such a long time, you're sad, and then there are times when you're happy because you're distracted from it, and then there are other times that you're upset because you just wanted to see your parent again. So when he's gone, it's harder because we all miss him, and then it's also harder because there's a lot of stuff he does that when he's not here, my mom has to do it. There's a lot more that she has to do when he's gone.
Most of Moultrup's friends aren't from military families, which makes it hard to share with them what she's feeling when her dad is deployed.
I think it's important for other kids to know that it might not seem like it's the hardest thing, but it can be for a lot of kids, because it's not your parent goes away for a few months once every few years. It happens a lot. A parent can be gone for more than a year at some time, so it's really hard to only have one parent around. But I feel something that's helpful is just to try and understand the situation a bit better.
Vermont is one of 8 U.S. states, territories, and districts without a military base. For the approximately 2,300 military dependents living in Vermont, that can feel isolating. The Vermont National Guard Family Readiness Center at Camp Johnson in Colchester helps combat that isolation. Last year, I spoke with the lead Child and Youth Program Coordinator with the Vermont National Guard, Brian Studnauer.
Keith, their mom or dad signed up for the military. They did not. And so they were brought into this world being a military dependent. And the challenges and struggles that they go through as an individual are going to be more than a typical teenager, than a typical youth. And so it's super important to have programs and services for them to support them in their times of need.
Try Northwest.
Studnauer runs camps during school vacations and in the summer, like this drone camp that was held in partnership with UVM Extension 4-H. These events build lifelong friendships for these kids.
They have a network of peers, actual military youth peers that they connect to. Just sets them all at ease and allows them to talk about the issues that are present for them being in military dependent youth.
Moultrup enjoys going to the camps and connecting with other kids.
It's really fun because you get to just go. It's basically summer camp, and it's a week and you just go, but everybody else who's there is a military kid, and it's really nice because even if you don't want to talk about like having a parent gone, you know that you have friends that you can talk to about it. So that's nice. When somebody else is going through the same thing, they can relate to you, and they can also help by like having like strategies to like help deal with it.
One of the strategies Moultrup learned at camp has served her well in other parts of her life.
Like one of the things we do at the camps is resiliency training. And so like that, it's really boring. Like I'm not gonna lie about that, it's really boring, but it's important because it helps dealing with like when a parent is gone, but it also helps with other things. Like last year in school, I had to build a CO2 car, and that was really hard because I had to restart so many times, but the resiliency training helped me know how to get through that without getting super upset.
Building resiliency has helped Ginny Moultrup stay on her toes, on the stage and as a military kid. In Essex Junction, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.
Our thanks to Ginny, and we want to salute her dad, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Matthew Moultrup, for his service. For the third year in a row, the University of Vermont's Sustainable Masters in Business Administration program has been named the nation's best green MBA by the Princeton Review. Rebecca Gollin tells us more.
So the whole idea here is that
this may look like just any classroom, but what these students are learning is anything but business as usual.
Can business solve some of the most difficult problems that humanity faces by being creative and thoughtful and innovative?
Program director Joe Fusco spends a lot of time thinking about how to make the business world better.
The problems that we have in the next 50 years of human society look very different than the problems we've had over the last 50 years. So we can't approach business, we can't approach the way we manage and create businesses the same way in the future that we have in the past.
These students are part of the Sustainable Innovation Masters in Business Administration program at the University of Vermont's Grossman School of Business. It's a one-year program that incorporates learning traditional business skills like finances and operations within a larger framework of environmental and social responsibility.
so you start off with the idea, then you build this into your first product, and then you say, well, how would this first product actually build to a second product, a third product? How would it go into a more, not only environmentally and socially sustainable business, but a financially sustainable business as well?
Eric Munson is one of the professors in the program. In his class, students work in groups to come up with a sustainable business model.
Well, this course is getting their feet wet, probably not only their feet, but their knees, their hips, the whole body wet really quickly. Instead of waiting till the end of the program to throw them into an integrative course where you pull together all the skills, we decided it was important, and the students early on thought it was important, that they get exposed to entrepreneurship as early as possible.
On this day, the students are presenting those models to their classmates and the public.
Our business is Microsun, and it's basically a small solar kit for people who can't afford to get the full solar array that's sold for houses and homeowners and businesses.
And that's enough to power your TV, 2 laptops, charge your cell phone.
Noelle Nierenda and her group created a business model for a new kind of solar company. Each of the team members brought different skills to the project. For Nierenda, who had a career as a mechanical engineer before coming back to school, working in a team setting was itself part of the learning process.
It was more back and forth, more iterations, and not just within our group and our team, but also we had to do customer interviews, we had to research competitors in the field. So it was a lot more involved, and I really felt like I did learn a lot, though, just from the process of it. And just to realize that, there isn't just one way to solve a problem.
Nierenda was drawn to the program for its emphasis on solving those real-world problems.
I just felt like for development-wise and for improving living standards, there's only so much that being in the engineering field can do, but the biggest impact is what businesses have. And I really just wanted to be able to have greater impact with my technical knowledge by being able to produce better products, and I guess also understand how businesses can take up the role in development.
Some of the business models at the trade show are more than just an exercise. They're based on actual businesses.
My business is Green Man Acres, so it's a diversified farm on 230 acres in Moncton.
Former Marine Cameron McMahon is hoping to get his diversified farm business going next year. Since his group had to come up with a workable idea for the project, he pitched his business, and they decided to use it as their model.
Forestry and wood products, livestock, market garden and orchard, and hosting weddings and events. And so those are kind of the 4 core areas of the farm that I'm going to be developing.
The teams had to complete a variety of tasks, including developing competitor analysis and market research. Seeing the real numbers that go along with the different ventures he's planning has given McMahon a lot to think about.
Prior to coming into the program, my intention had been to really explore starting the wedding side of the business as kind of the first main focus. The main reason that I've kind of pulled back on that is because there's higher startup costs and more risk involved, potentially much higher revenues with it, but in being able to focus on something that's smaller scale, lower cost in the meantime to actually generate some revenue in the next couple of years makes more sense to me.
It's a new kind of business leader from the heart of Vermont.
So I often hear that, well, what can Vermont do? It's just a small state. And maybe what can UVM do? It's just one university. And so the thing I like to tell everybody is, and it might be a cliche, but it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. So we all have responsibility to do what we can where we are, no matter how insignificant we think it is. It's not for us to judge whether what we're doing is insignificant. It's for us to take action and see what we can do to make change happen.
Changing the business world for the better, one future leader at a time. At the University of Vermont, I'm Rebecca Gollin with Across the Fence.
And that's our program for today. Once again, thank you for joining us Across the Fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.